y'all doing? This is Cody Flowers with the YMCA. I am the Youth Program Director here at the Y. We are fortunate enough to have our certified YMCA art teacher, Miss Hanners, who teaches our Young in Art class. She is on hand and she's at home actually, getting ready to take some videos for you guys so you guys can see some easy art projects you could do with the supplies that may be laying around your house. So without further ado, we're going to transition this video to her and her humble abode.
All right, Miss Hanners here again, and I'm kind of just going off of what I just taught you. We're going to start adding some patterns or shapes, details, doodles, whatever you want to call this. Now you can go about this a few different ways. You can add, a different pattern in each section. If you do want to repeat, let's say you're going to do circles here. So I'll go ahead and do some circles here. One thing I tell my students, if you're trying to do circles, make sure they look like circles, not G's, not sixes. If you're going for a certain shape, take your time and do it nicely. So if I wanted to do circles again, it would be okay. Just don't do it side by side or too close. Maybe you could do it over here. But maybe like here, I want to do some X's. I tell students to try to spread out the shapes. They don't have to be perfectly aligned by any means, but spread those out so they don't get too crowded. Have a little bit of breathing room there. So maybe this one, I want to do some little zigzags. Again, I would be drawing these lighter, but I'm drawing them a little darker so you can see them. Maybe this one I want to do curvy lines. I think kids really love this because it is basically a way of doodling and you can be as free as you want. Use your imagination. Most kids, they really like to do patterns. So I think that's great. Think of all your shapes, circles, squares, triangles, ovals. There's different ways of doing diagonal lines, crisscross lines. Maybe I'll do some little basic snowflakes in here. And maybe I want to just do like some diagonal lines here. Now if I want to go back and I'm like, that's not enough, maybe I can make some little kind of mini dotted lines in here. Reminds me of a road a little bit. So there's that one. And then maybe I want to do swirls. I love doing swirls. I tell my students if I could be a shape or some kind of design, it'd probably be a swirl. I like it when the kids call them snails. I think that's cute too. So there's some swirls. So that is all on the inside of your food or my apple. Maybe I want to go in and go ahead and do a little design in here. If I wanted to just do all one design in here, that would be okay. So maybe I'll do some squares in here. Again, make sure they look like clean squares as best you can. So there's kind of the inside. Now the outside, there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can kind of reuse some of these patterns, shapes, if you would like, but if you think it's going to be too much to use a different shape or pattern every time, then you could actually alternate. Now you might run into some troubles where they're side by side over here, but I can show you a way to fix that if it happens. So let's say, you might have a little bit touching side by side somewhere, but it won't be, the end of the world if that's the case. You could do letters too. So, maybe I want to do like K's in here. So I'm doing K's. For any of you that know me, that's first letter of my name. So I thought I'd incorporate that. Put a little bit of my own personality in there, kind of make it more unique to you. And so I'm going to go ahead where I go around and I do all of these. Oop. See, sometimes it's okay to make a mistake. All right, now, so I don't take up all of your time. I'm actually going to show you how how I trace these in the next video. For some reason I'm wanting to make a different letter here. That's why it's important to draw lightly. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and do the background of this, and then I'm going to show you one more step on how to trace. So I'll be back.